We all know, after several years of difficulties, we took a decision to make quite a big restructuring in the Spanish market last year. It was actually a big restructuring the Spanish company went through. And you can say that we all know that when you go through these big organization changes and reducing the number of people, you will also have to change the way of working. I will say that we are not satisfied, of course, with the result for 2012, which is still negative. But the Spanish company has made a lot of good homework and prepared itself for the future in a much better way. When it comes to the change of way of working, it's been an exercise we have been through in the whole EMEA organization. EMEA stands for Europe, Middle East and Africa, which is one of the sales regions we have in the Gunnebo group. What we're trying to do is to focus against the key market segments of customers that we have. The first one is well known, it's the banks. And the banks business is also big in Spain since many years. The second one is retail. The third one we call CIT, or transport of cash, or cash in transaction. That's what the CIT means. And the fourth one we call public plus. And public plus includes all the business we're doing with the public sector, the main buildings and the building construction companies, but also the distribution. And if we look at this, the new thing here is that we have a much more aggressive and clearer view on how we want to address the retailers and the retail market, bearing in mind that there's a strong link to the CIT companies with cash handling and cash transportation and protection of cash into the marketplace. The other big thing here is, of course, that we would like to see the distribution and the distribution management being improved significantly. Bearing in mind that we do in most markets around the world, also so in Spain, a lot of business with distributor. It is important for us to have a much more professional distribution management developed. And this is also an area where we have spent significant time to develop. The other thing for Spain, which is extremely important, is to do more of what I call Gunnebofication, which means that we have to be much more into selling products and systems that are actually the Gunnebo Group products and systems. This is a challenge for Spain because predominantly in the past it's been focused on selling other things, and this will be a big swing and a big shift. But in fact that can have a huge impact on the profitability for the Spanish business going forward. So it's an important one. Finally, if we look into the future and what we believe is the situation in Spain and in Europe and what's going to happen, the first thing we can say is it's very difficult to predict. Europe has had its difficulties for several years. We talk about financial crisis, we talk about financial turmoils, and we talk about difficulties in the banking industry, which is of course important for us, being an important customer group for us going forward. However, the only thing we can promise each other is that Europe will continue to be difficult for some period. And before I go in and talk specifically about Spain, I would like to say that to counteract that, we are doing two things in the group. First of all, we are investing quite a lot in other markets outside Europe, and we are enjoying very good profitable growth, both in Asia, in South and in North America currently. The other thing we do is, of course, to invest in the European markets, because even though it's a tough marketplace, it's still a huge market, and it's 60% of the group's business. And among the top 5 markets in Europe is, of course, Spain. So I can promise you that Spain will be on the radar screen for the group in the future, and we will continue to invest, and we will continue to support business development and business growth in Spain, because believe me, it will come back. We just have to do the right things.